Hi, this is Austin with Progress Report 5. I'll go ahead and launch right in. So you can see the enemies that I've added here. Get rid of that. He follows me, jitters a bit when he is pointing towards me, but I'm working on fixing that. Anyway, but yeah, he shoots bullets at me. They're currently the same kind that I shoot, but I just wanted to demonstrate the whole life cycle thing. You should be able to see that despite the fact that the bullets are being used already and going through the factory, they are still having their alarm set just fine. So that's that. I'll also go ahead and do the freeze frame, so you can see that I've got that implemented. That's really not a huge surprise, frankly. And what else? Oh yeah, and then to show off my scene transitions, I have the enter key to set to go back to the null scene, and there we go, and nothing's there. So I'll go ahead and look through all the code for all this. First things first are some of the things from last time. So that was just from the breakpoint. First things first, the inputable. I previously had a set amount of allowed registered keys, but I fixed that by setting it to use a map instead, so I did get that fixed. So now you can have as many keys as you want, and it also has the state of the registered key. I'm still working on trying to figure out how to actually use the use an iterator to point back to where I was, because I'm not necessarily sure what should hold that iterator. It can't be this, because if you found this, you don't need the iterator anymore. But so that is still something that I'm trying to figure out to make that faster. But yeah, here is the inputable class. You can see all my lovely code to get to the registration and deregistration properly. It should be pretty similar to the code I already have for other maps, so I won't linger on that too much. Some of my attorneys, just showing off that I've separated them now so that not all the friend classes get access to all the functions, just the ones they need. So that's that one. Game object attorney, inputable attorney, drawable attorney, same deal. And then I don't know why I opened this one. That one hasn't changed. Let's see here. Time manager. So yeah, just wanted to show that I no longer have calculate time as a public function. That is now done through the attorney. One other thing I'd like to note is that this is not just for this class, but for a lot of them. Rather than having private functions that would then call their own private function, so like if I had moved this here, say, I just removed any functions I had like this entirely, and just had the attorney itself call instance.priv get frame time, for example, rather than having the attorney call that when it was private, and then having it call it from there. Just made the code a little more simple. So you'll see some of that. Here's the calculate time, just using the freeze frame time, and the delete is the same. So there's the code just to show you that it's in. I don't really know why you'd need to know that since it obviously works, but there it is. Null scene, pretty simple. Attorney, also pretty simple. I separated it out, and also now change scene is done through an attorney. Not the submit change scene, that's a separate function, because I know that shouldn't be private. But yeah, so here it is. The submit change scene, public, calls the instance function to do that, and then the regular change scene function. And let's see here. So the actual change scene code. So I just, for submit change scene, I take my command, set the target on it, and make that the active command, and the actual command executes each update, and then the change scene will delete the current scene, make a new scene, initialize it, so on. And I thought of one more thing that I wanted to show, which was the actual game code that I've done, just to show you some of the systems that I was trying to put pressure on. So here's the enemy class. It's not too different from the ship. It just takes the angle between it and its target ship and rotates towards that. There are some edge cases that I'm working on, but that's probably just because of the way I'm doing the math. So that shouldn't be a huge deal to fix. And then the draw and alarm. So the reason that I have it shooting its own bullet, it was partially to add extra stress onto the bullet factory. In addition to that, I have it the bullet factory set to delete all bullets on screen when it is deleted. A lot of the point of this was to put stress on the game object lifecycle, because the bullets are the only things that are coming in and off the screen, and I wanted to make sure that those were being created and deleted properly. And there actually I have a failed take where the bullets were not being having their alarms triggered properly. So you know, having it less ways turned out to be a pretty good idea. So that at least should show that the game object lifecycle is pretty solid as is.